to another mathematics lesson. My name is Kingsley Linus. In today's lesson, we'll be learning about need for statistics, part 1. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to define statistics. Secondly, you should be able to list the purposes of statistics. In every society where people live, there will always be a need to plan and manage scarce resources. Now, to do this effectively, we need to collect information. This information can be called data. Now, when we collect data for the purpose of use and interpretation, this is what statistics is about. An example of statistics is a report of numbers saying how many Muslims and Christians there are in Nigeria. Basically, statistics is a branch of mathematics that deals with data, analyzing data and all. Now, data can also be called variables. Variables simply means things that can have or take on various values. For example, age, sex, and so on. There are two approaches to statistics. We call that techniques used in statistics. First, we have inferential statistics, and secondly, we have descriptive statistics. In inferential statistics, we analyze samples, while in descriptive statistics, we come up with numerical values. It is in descriptive statistics that we do calculations like mean and mode. The practice and science of collecting, organizing, presenting, and analyzing large quantities of data is the definition of statistics. Now, let's learn about more terms in statistics. First, data. Data refers to raw facts or unprocessed information collected for analysis. Secondly, we have population. When we talk about population, we refer to numbers. It could be numbers of objects, entire group of people, events, or measurements. For example, the number of people infected with coronavirus is a description of a population. Another statistical term is sample. A sample is a part of a population that is used for study. Most times, a sample is a good representative of the main population. Next, sample size. Sample size has to do with the total amount of things in a sample. And lastly, a variable is any quantity that can be measured, counted, and take on various values at different points in time. Measuring a variable. Variables can be classified into two, quantitative and qualitative. Let's find out what these variables mean. Qualitative variable can as well be called qualitative data. We have other names like categorical or descriptive data. Now, it has to do with classifying things into categories. For example, human hair color, names of cities, and so on. When we do this, we can represent variables as words, images, symbols, but not as numbers. Now, to quantitative variable, also known as quantitative data. Of course, this has to do with numbers. So when we find out the quantitative values of items, for example, height, weight, and so on, these information can be useful in carrying out calculations like arithmetic operations. Quantitative variables can be further classified into discrete and continuous variables. When variables take on whole number values, we call them discrete variables. Now, discrete variables never take on fractional or decimal values. What do we mean? For example, you can never say you own 0.7 toy or half a toy, but you can rather say you own one toy, two toys, and so on. Now, for continuous variables, there are variables that can take on various numerical values. For example, the weight of a human. Someone can weigh 105 kilograms and another person weighs 32.24 kilograms. It is important to note that continuous variables can take on fractional or even decimal values, but they can always be measured. Let's go on in this lesson to learn about the purpose of statistics. When we talk about the purpose of statistics, it is helpful to know that statistics is used in just about every corner of life, from weather forecasts to political opinion polls to crop yields, business trends, medical diagnosis, quality testing, emergency preparedness, predicting diseases, insurance, consumer goods, financial market forecasting, sports, and many more. All these information can be helpful to individuals, researchers, teachers, government workers, and so on. They use it to acquire relevant information that enables them to carry out their work effectively and efficiently. I have mentioned some reasons why we study statistics, but let's look at some key reasons. First, we study statistics to help us improve our work results. We also study statistics to maximize available resources. We also study statistics to enable us predict possible events. Statistics can help researchers to better understand issues of concern. And lastly, statistics can help us understand the outcome from a research. Now, let's see the purposes of statistics. The purposes of statistics include: 1. Statistics enables us to reduce large array of data to manageable and understandable form. Secondly, statistics aids in the study of populations and samples. Furthermore, statistics also aids in making reliable deductions about events based on observation and experiments. And lastly, statistics helps in arriving at valid and reliable results, conclusions, and generalizations. Here is an exercise for you. We have a table that gives us the statistics of student enrollment for public schools in a state in Nigeria. A says, from your observation of the data presented, will the number of students in 2001 be less or more than 3,510? The correct answer to this is that in 2001, the enrollment will be more than 3,510. Question B says, give a reason for your answer in A above. Your answer should be, by observation, enrollment has been on the increase. Question C, how many students were admitted between 1991 to 2000? The correct answer is the difference between the enrollment of students in the year 2000 and in the year 1991. And that gives us 2,385 enrollments. And lastly, D, estimate the number of students that are most likely to be enrolled in 2001, 2002, and 2003 respectively. Since you are asked for an estimate, your numbers can vary. An estimate is 3,700 enrollments in the year 2001, 3,950 enrollments in the year 2002, and 4,070 enrollments in the year 2003, respectively. Having solved that, we have come to the end of this class. But before you go, let's look at a short summary of what we've learned. First, we learned that statistics is the practice and science of collecting, organizing, presenting, and analyzing numerical data in large quantities for a specific purpose. Secondly, we learned that there are two main areas or techniques used in statistics: inferential statistics and descriptive statistics. And lastly, we learned that variables or data measured in statistics can be classified as qualitative or quantitative data. It's test time. Let's look at some test questions. Question 1 says, statistics is the practice and science of collecting, organizing, presenting, and dash of data in large quantities for specific purposes. A. Emulating. B. Analyzing. C. Trivializing. D. Falsifying. The correct answer is option B, analyzing. Question 2. Statistics serves the following purposes except dash. A. Aids valid and reliable conclusions. B. Reduces large array of data. C. Increases geographical population. Or D. Aids study of populations and sample. The correct answer is option C. Thank you for your time. We will learn some more in the part 2 of this lesson. But till then, bye-bye.